everyone, my name is Elizabeth and today we are going to be doing a color cut and style on Melissa here. So first I want to start by just talking a little bit about what she's looking for today. So what are you kind of looking for with your new style and color?
I really want it to be lighter and have some more movement.
Okay, perfect. So with her hair, what I'm thinking is, just because you can see she's really grown out with this balayage that she previously had, we are going to do a mixture of balayage and some traditional foiling, and we will do kind of like a diamond section in the back, and that will give her a really nice amount of brightness throughout the top. We'll give her a beautiful face frame with some lighter pieces around the face. And as far as her cut goes, we'll probably add in just a little bit of layering and then a good face frame to give her a little bit more movement around her face. All right, now that I have the back separated out, all I did here was put a clip up in one side in the back. I left this part down because we do still need to figure out what her natural level is so that we know what volume developer we need to use today to get her to the brightness that she wants to be. So I have my level finder here, and what we're gonna do is take a section out of the back here. I use the part that's underneath just because it sees the least amount of sunlight, so it's gonna be naturally like the darkest part of your head. So I put my swatch up to her hair and I kind of bunch it together, and it looks like she's right in between a 7 and an 8. I'm gonna call her a 7 just because I feel like the 7 looks the closest. So we're gonna go for 2 levels of lift today to be like a 9. So I'm comfortable just using 20 volume on her. For her ends, I'm probably going to use just a mixture of 10 volume just to kind of brighten them up, just because they're just a little dull. Kind of a thicker weave here, and I'm gonna leave that part out around her hairline just because we're gonna do overall brightness. We're not gonna focus on anything too crazy, and I still want to have those pockets of depth in there. So first what I like to do is take my clay lightener and apply just a small amount to my balayage board here, and I will place the hair on top. This ensures that I'm going to get saturation both above and below, and I will paint upwards to the top corner here, and then kind of leave some depth on the end over on this side. So I'll go in about 1 inch, drop down my section. Again, make sure you use really clean partings just because that's going to ensure that you are going to have a really symmetrical look, and also just it's going to make your life a lot easier whenever it comes to weaving and making sure that like you don't get bleed marks and all of that good stuff. So we will go ahead and repeat the same exact method on the other side of her head. The same rate, about 1 inch here, and we are going to go diagonal, and we are going to do what's called a herringbone section. All right, so in the top here, we are going to start. So once you take your 1 inch section, make sure that you take just a small slice from that. And this slice is going to be where you're going to want to weave from. You don't want to weave from the full section. That's going to give you a really not clean section, and it's going to cause a lot of bleeding and slippage with your foil. So you just really want to be sure that you ensure you take that slice. We're just doing medium to fine weaves on this top section. And now we're going to move on to the diagonal section. So this is where you'll start to see that herringbone kind of start. So we're going to start right here, go diagonal up, drop it down. So usually I'll just take a small section that will be kind of like a veil around the face, and you just want to include any pieces that might be visible whenever she wears her hair. So when working around the face here, you really want to make sure that you leave out all of these little fine hairs, just because they'll start to look like breakage if you lighten them. All the way around her hairline done, we are going to go ahead and start with our mixture of both our balayage and our regular technique. So we are going to go in, I like to usually start just above the eyebrow and go diagonal back, just because the hair is a little bit thinner around the ear. That's going to give you a little bit thicker of a section to start with. And we are going to do this piece the same as we did the underneath. We're going to take our thicker weave, and then we are going to go ahead and use our clay lightener and do a balayage application on this piece, and then we are going to alternate it up the head. As we did on this side, we are now going to repeat on the other side. All right, we have everything applied. In the front, we did really fine sections around her hairline. Just a few foils is really going to make that impact. And then we alternated around the front quadrants of her head. We did a mixture of our open ear balayage mixed with our traditional foiling technique. In the back, we went ahead and did our two underneath sections here, open ear balayage. Up top, we did like a herringbone pattern with our traditional foiling. So we are going to let her process. All right, we are down to our last few minutes of processing. So as promised, I am going to go through on all of her ends, just the last few inches here, and we are going to apply our clay lightener and just kind of give it a little bit of boost. I haven't rinsed everything and shampooed. We have not toned or anything yet. So what we are going to do, just because I want it to melt a little bit, we're going to do a 7 NA at the root, just because she's a little bit warm and we want to cancel a little bit out, but not too much. We still want to keep that brightness, so we're going to keep that neutral in there. And then on her ends, I'm going to mix up a 9N and a 10A, again, to keep some of that brightness in there, but we are going to neutralize just a little bit. We have her all rinsed. I am going to go ahead and go in with my Pearl Detangler. I like to use this as a cutting lotion before we do her cut. So we're going to do her perimeter of her cut while she's wet. Just because she has longer hair, it'll be easier to control. As far as her layering goes, I don't want her to have like traditional layers. We're going to do a little bit of a different technique today. I just evenly mixed roots to ends. Then we're going to start by sectioning out. So I like to start from the highest point of the head here, and then go straight down on the side. Section that part out. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Come forward. Then in the back, I like to start right underneath at the bottom of the occipital ridge there. Make sure you clean up any partings. So this is where a lot of people struggle. So what I personally like to do is have my client turn their head to the side. And then I'm gonna take this back triangle here, let it fall naturally. and then that kind of eliminates that shoulder. Styling her today, I'm going to go in first with my thickening mousse and just use it throughout the top of her hair. It's just going to give her a little added volume up top. I feel like we're lacking a bit. And then we're going to go in with our blow dry spray. The blow dry spray is one of my favorites just because it adds that extra heat protection and it cuts down your dry time. So I like to start by taking 1-inch partings in the back. And I will walk it up the head. And I will let that back part fall out there. And that's going to be my perimeter. I always comb down at the bottom too to make sure we're staying full at the bottom. So then I'm going to take my shears and angle them diagonal back and just a small open close. It's not a true slide cut. It's just a really small open close. So I'll start at the top. And I just keep open, close, open, close. And you'll see this is about how much hair comes out. So small triangle on the front. Leave out any part of her face frame that will be. Take this part up. Then I just over direct forward. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. I just want to keep a little bit more length on that front part. Here in the front, and this is going to determine our guide. So I want to start her face frame about right here. So we'll start right here, and then we're just going to connect. So a lot of times I'll over direct this way, and then just kind of slide it. And I just add a little bit at a time. I can always make it shorter. I'm going to be using the Kenra Hot Spray. I like this because it's a firm hold, heat protected. So it gives both the protection and the hold that we need, especially whenever your hair is just a little softer. She has very soft hair, it's very fine. So it is going to help her a lot. So whenever applying this, I always shake my product first, and then I just hold back a little bit, give it 3 good sprays, and then a lot of times with this one, you want to make sure that it's fully dry before you are going on there with any heat, and I just like to give it a comb and you are good to go. It dries very fast. So then I'll take our straightener here. We're going to be doing flat iron curls. So I like to clamp. And I twist, and I'm going to twist all in the same way because I want to give her a little bit of a wave today. And you'll see how great the hold is with the product. So I'm going to set her with the finishing spray. It's the Kenra 26. I'm using the platinum one just because I like the scent with it. This is going to give us a lot of hold. And then next up, I'm going to go in with my dry texture spray. I love this stuff. It's great for like filling in whenever you feel like there's gaps in the hair. So whenever I comb through it, you'll see kind of what I'm talking about. This is just going to fill out her hair a lot. Everything's going to be really full. So this is Melissa's finished look. It is so beautiful on her. It complements her skin tone so well. We have so much movement. We got all of that dimension in there while still keeping her bright and not doling out her ends. So I think that tip out was really nice. I love this cut on her, and I think that cohesively it fits her very well. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time.